Hello all, I am Vijayendra Reddy, Current Affairs faculty. In today's video lecture, we will see some current affairs regarding international, sports and regional that happened from November 1st to 10th, 2017. First, we will go with the international current affairs. Business magazine Forbes has released the list of 100 most powerful women in the world in November 2017. So, this list was released on November 1st and Forbes once again releases the list of 100 most powerful women in the world, and not surprisingly the topper is once again German Chancellor Angela Merkel. So, Angela Merkel, German Chancellor, who is re-elected as Germany's Chancellor for the 4th consecutive time, has been declared as the world's most powerful woman by this business magazine called Forbes. And German Chancellor Angela Merkel topped the list for the 7th consecutive time and overall 12 times. So, for the 7th consecutive year and overall 12 times Angela Merkel topped this list. And you also remember the second most powerful woman in the world is UK or British Prime Minister Theresa May. In this list of 100 most powerful women in the world, 5 Indian women are also there. You remember all these 5 women and they are related to which field. You need not worry about the rankings, but among these 5 Indian women, the topper is Chanda Kochhar. Chanda Kochhar is ranked 32. So, these 5 Indian women who are figured in this Forbes most powerful women's list are Chanda Kochhar, Roshni Nadar, Kiran Majumdar-Shah, Shobhana Bhartiya and Priyanka Chopra. Chanda Kochhar is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of India's largest private sector bank, ICICI Bank. And this year she is in the news for another reason, because in May 2017 she became the first Indian to receive Woodrow Wilson Global Corporate Citizenship Award in Washington DC. So, Chanda Kochhar, ICICI Bank MD and CEO, winning Woodrow Wilson Award as well as in the list of world's 100 most powerful women. Then another Indian woman is Roshni Nadar. Roshni Nadar is the Chief Executive Officer or CEO of HCL, a very big IT company. Third Indian woman is Kiran Majumdar-Shah. She is the founder and chairperson of Biocon, which is a very big biotechnology company in India. Fourth Indian woman is Shobhana Bhartiya, who is related to media. She is the chairperson and editorial director of Hindustan Times Media. And the last Indian woman in this list who is ranked 97th overall is Priyanka Chopra, a very famous Hindi actress and who is now acting in Hollywood movies also. Priyanka Chopra is also UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. Recently Priyanka Chopra turned into a producer also, and in the year 2016 she produced a movie called Ventilator, which is a Marathi film that won 3 National Film Awards. So, remember these 5 Indian women who made this who made to this list of Forbes 100 most powerful women in the world. Not only these 5 Indian women, 2 Indian Americans are also figured in this list. One of them is Indra Nooyi. Indra Nooyi is PepsiCo, a very big beverages company chairperson, and the other woman, Indian American woman, is Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley is American ambassador to the United Nations. So, 5 Indians are there in this list and 2 Indian American women are also there in this list, which is topped by German Chancellor Angela Merkel. I will tell about one more woman. She is ranked 38th in this list. You need not remember her rank, but remember this woman. Her name is Jacinda Ardern. Jacinda Ardern is the new Prime Minister of New Zealand. She became the Prime Minister of New Zealand very recently in October, and straight away she figured in the world's 100 most powerful women list. And she is just 37 years old, and at the age of 37, at present she is the youngest female head of the government in the world, and she is the third woman Prime Minister of New Zealand after Ginny Shipley and Helen Clark, and she is the youngest New Zealand Prime Minister in the last 150 years. So, remember all these points about Jacinda Ardern, the new Prime Minister of New Zealand, who replaced Bill English in October 2017. So, New Zealand today has got a woman Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern. So, from Forbes list we will move to a very big summit that happened on November 10th in Vietnam, and that summit is called APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. Before moving to the summit, I will tell about this organization. APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, is an organization which consists of 21 Pacific Ring economies. They are using the word economies, not countries, because Hong Kong and Taiwan are taken as economies, and they are also in these 21 Pacific Ring economies. APEC was started in 1989 and it is headquartered in Singapore, and all these countries allow free trade. That means it promotes free trade in the Asia Pacific region. The three countries in North America, that is Canada, United States and Mexico, and two countries in South America, Chile and Peru, and Australia, New Zealand and Russia, and some Asian countries like China, Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, Thailand, Singapore, Vietnam are members of this organization. Hence, it is called APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. You should remember that APEC has 21 Pacific Rim countries, and India is not a member of this group. India is not a member of APEC organization, which is headquartered in Singapore, and it was established in 1989 to promote free trade among the Asia Pacific region. And these APEC summits are also called APEC Economic Leaders Meetings, and the latest, the 25th APEC Economic Leaders Meeting was held in Da Nang. Da Nang is a port city in Vietnam, and the theme for this latest APEC summit, which is the 25th APEC summit, is creating new dynamism, fostering a shared future. On the sidelines of this APEC Economic Leaders Meeting, APEC Chief Executive Officers Summit also held in the same city, that is Da Nang, which is in Vietnam. And at this APEC CEOs meeting, the President Donald Trump has talked about India. He said that India is the world's largest democracy with 1.3 billion people, and India has made an astounding progress in economy ever since it has opened its economy to the world. And not only that, he repeatedly used the word Indo-Pacific instead of Asia-Pacific. So, which leader is using the word Indo-Pacific instead of Asia-Pacific? Then the answer is Donald Trump. Now, we can guess the importance given to our country by the new President of America, Donald Trump. He has been telling that India is very, very important for America, and that is why he is using the word Indo-Pacific instead of Asia-Pacific. And the next APEC summit will be held in November 2018. That is, the next meeting is going to be the 26th APEC summit in November 2018, and it will happen in Port Moresby. Port Moresby is the capital city of Papua New Guinea, which is a country in the Pacific Ocean to the north of Australia. Then I will tell you some international persons in news. One is Jerome Powell. America's apex bank is called Federal Reserve. Just like our central bank is called Reserve Bank of India, in America the central bank or the apex bank is called Federal Reserve, and its present chairperson is a woman. Her name is Janet Yellen, and her term will be over in February 2018, and she will be succeeded or she will be replaced by Jerome Powell. American President Donald Trump has announced recently that Jerome Powell, who is one of the members of the Board of Governors of Federal Reserve, will be the next chairman of Federal Reserve, and Jerome Powell will succeed in 2018. He will succeed the present incumbent Janet Yellen as the new boss or as the new chairman of America's apex bank, Federal Reserve. Then we will move to another American, very important for your exam, and that American is Kenneth Jester. Kenneth Jester has been appointed as American ambassador to India, and recently his name is confirmed by the Senate, and Kenneth Jester has replaced Richard Rahul Verma. So, who is the new American ambassador to India? It is Kenneth Jester, and Kenneth Jester played a key role in the landmark India-America Civil Nuclear Agreement that happened several years ago. And he played a very important role in enhancing the India-US relations when George Bush was the President of America. And he has come back in the news once again because he has been appointed as American ambassador to India. In November 2017, his name is Kenneth Jester, and he replaced Richard Rahul Verma. Then there is one Indian American woman. She is in fact Indian American lawyer, and her name is Manisha Singh. Remember her name also for your exam. Manisha Singh is an Indian American lawyer who was made in charge of economic diplomacy in USA. So, another key post for another Indian American. So, her name is Manisha Singh, and she has been made in charge of economic diplomacy by the President Donald Trump. From Manisha Singh, we will move to another Indian origin person. Her name is Priti Patel. Priti Patel was the International Development Secretary of United Kingdom. Priti Patel, the International Development Secretary of United Kingdom, resigned in some kind of very strange circumstances. She was forced to step down, or she was forced to resign by the Prime Minister, UK Prime Minister Theresa May. So, Priti Patel is no longer International Development Secretary of UK. I will tell you this very interesting reason for her resignation, Priti Patel's resignation as UK Secretary, International Development Secretary. This year in summer, she went to Israel on a private holiday, and she met Israeli government authorities, and she did not get the permission. She has not got the permission to meet the foreign countries' officials on a private holiday. That means she breached the ministerial code, and it was taken very seriously. It appeared in the newspapers. They have taken very seriously, and Priti Patel was asked to resign because of breaching of ministerial code. Similarly, one more very important person in the world resigned, and he is the Prime Minister of Lebanon. His name is Saad Hariri. So, Saad Hariri resigned as the Lebanese Prime Minister. Actually, he went to Saudi Arabia and he announced his resignation from Saudi Arabia itself. Lebanon is a country in West Asia, and Saad Hariri said that Iran is plotting means to conspire, Iran is plotting to assassinate him. He said that Iran and Hezbollah group are dominating Lebanon. Hezbollah is a militant group based in Lebanon. So, Saad Hariri resigned, saying that he will be assassinated or he will be killed by Iran. That is why he is resigning from the post of the Prime Minister of Lebanon. And Saad Hariri, you also remember one more fact, he is the son of Rafiq Hariri, former Lebanese Prime Minister, who was assassinated in the year 2005. So, your question will be simple, where is Lebanon? Lebanon is in West Asia. Or Saad Hariri, what is the name of the Prime Minister of Lebanon who resigned recently, citing the reason that Iran is plotting to kill him or assassinate him? His name is Saad Hariri. Or what is the capital of Lebanon? It is Beirut. So, Beirut is the capital of Lebanon. Or in which country Hezbollah, a militant group, based? Then the answer is Lebanon. Then one beauty contest was held in Pasay city, which is in Philippines, and this beauty pageant's name is Miss Earth 2017. So, the Miss Earth 2017 beauty pageant was held in Philippines, and a Philippines girl was crowned Miss Earth 2017, and her name is Karen Ibasco. I will repeat, Karen Ibasco has been crowned the Miss Earth 2017, and Karen Ibasco is from Philippines. From international events, we will move to sports. A lot of sports events happened recently, and we will start with Asian Cup hockey or Women's Asia Cup hockey. The 9th Women's Asia Cup hockey was held in Kakamigahara, which is a city in Japan. I will repeat the city name, Kakamigahara, a city in Japan, hosted the 9th Women's Asia Cup hockey, and this tournament was won by Indian women's team. So, Indian women's team is the present Asia Cup hockey champions. In the final match, Indian women's hockey team defeated China in a tense penalty shootout and won the Asia Cup for the second time. And India won this Asia Cup title, that is Women's Asia Cup title, after a gap of 13 years. Last time India won in the year 2004. By winning this Asia Cup, India has qualified for the next year's, that is 2018 World Cup hockey, to be played in London, UK. So, good news is Indian women's team winning the Asia Cup hockey as well as getting qualified for the next year's World Cup hockey that will be played in London, which is in United Kingdom. Indian women's hockey team captain is Rani Rampal, and Indian goalkeeper is Savita. You also remember Savita, and Savita, for her stellar role in this penalty shootout in the final match against China, she was adjudged the goalkeeper of the tournament. She was adjudged the goalkeeper of the tournament. And this is an Indian women's team winning Asia Cup hockey is an icing on the cake, because in October 2017, that is just last month itself, Indian men's team also won the Asia Cup hockey. So, what does that mean? That means both Indian men's team and women's team have won the 2017 Asia Cups. Continuing with the success stories of Indian women sports players, there is one woman boxer who has made our country very proud. Her name is Mary Kom. Mary Kom is from Manipur, and she is currently Rajya Sabha member also. In November 2017, Asian Women's Boxing Championships were played in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. So, the Asian Women's Boxing Team Championship boxing championships were played in which city? Ho Chi Minh City, which is in Vietnam. And in this Asian women's boxing championship, India's Mary Kom won a gold medal, and this is her 5th Asian boxing women's championship. She won in 2003, 2005, 2010, 2012 and now 2017. That means total she won 5 times Asian boxing championships. And there is one more Indian woman boxer, you remember her name also, her name is Sonia Lather. Sonia Lather won a silver medal in this Asian boxing championships. From boxing we will move to badminton. Nagpur hosted the senior national badminton championships, and the both men's and women's titles became very famous because 4 of the best Indian badminton players figured in the finals. In the men's final, H.S. Pranay defeated world number 2 Kidambi Srikanth to win the men's title in the senior national badminton championships played in Nagpur. And in the women's section, Saina Nehwal defeated another world number 2 in women. Saina Nehwal defeated P.V. Sindhu in the final match and won the women's singles title at the senior national badminton championship. So, I will repeat, H.S. Pranay is the men's champion and Saina Nehwal is the women's national badminton champion as on today, that is November 2017 for this year. Then continuing with sports, we will go to golf. Indian golfer Shiv Kapoor, you remember his name, Shiv Kapoor, he has clinched the Panasonic Open tournament, Panasonic Open golf tournament, which was played in New Delhi. His name is Shiv Kapoor and it is his first Asian Tour title in India. The golfer name is Shiv Kapoor. From golf we will move to shooting. The Commonwealth Shooting Championships were played in Brisbane. Brisbane is in Australia, and in this Commonwealth Shooting Championships, India topped the medals table. India won as many as 20 medals, including 6 gold, and India topped the medals list. So, question will be, where was the latest Commonwealth Shooting Championship held? The answer is Brisbane, which is a city in Australia. And which country topped the medals table? It is India, which won 6 golds and overall 20 to top the medals table. Then we will move to chess. There is one grandmaster from Andhra Pradesh, his name is M.R. Lalit Babu. M.R. Lalit Babu of Andhra Pradesh was crowned the champion at the National Premier Chess Tournament, which was held in Patna. So, who is the present national chess champion? It is a grandmaster from Andhra Pradesh. His name is M.R. Lalit Babu. And continuing with chess, there is one 13-year-old boy from Hyderabad. His name is Raja Ritvik, and Raja Ritvik won the under 17 national championship that was held in Coimbatore. So, Raja Ritvik is under 17 national chess championship. He is from Telangana, and the silver medal is also won by another Telangana boy. His name is Erigaisi Arjun, and he is from Warangal, and the girls title was won by Priyanka of Tamil Nadu. So, remember these 2 names, M.R. Lalit Babu of Andhra Pradesh winning the national chess championship, whereas under 17 national chess championship is won by Raja Ritvik. Then finally, we will move to cricket. National Blind One Day Cricket Tournament was played in Mumbai, and in the final match, Andhra Pradesh defeated Gujarat and won the National Blind One Day Cricket Tournament. So, which state is the winner of the National Blind One Day Cricket Tournament? The answer is Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh captain is Ajay Reddy, and Ajay Reddy led the Indian blind cricket team that won the World Cup recently. Then we will see two cricketers who have made news. One of them is Colin Munro. Colin Munro is from New Zealand, and he hit a century in a T20 international in November 2017 at Rajkot, and he is the first batsman. This specialty, why I am telling this is specialty, is he is the first batsman in the world to hit two T20 international centuries in the same calendar year. Earlier he scored 100 against Bangladesh, and now he scored 100 against India in a T20 international match. You remember his name is Colin Munro, and he is from New Zealand, and in this match which was played in Rajkot, New Zealand defeated India, but nevertheless this T20 international series was won by India 2-1. That means India won 2 matches, whereas New Zealand could win only 1, in which Colin Munro blasted a century in this T20 international. Then one more cricketer, he is an Australian pace bowler, his name is Mitchell Starc. He created a kind of record recently in November 2017 when he has taken 2 hat-tricks in a single match in domestic tournament. So, playing Sheffield Shield tournament, which is a premier domestic tournament in Australia, he was playing for New South Wales, and he has taken hat-trick, that means 3 wickets in 3 consecutive balls in the first innings, and he repeated the feat in the second innings also against Western Australia team, and this feat was achieved by Mitchell Starc, Australian star bowler in Sydney. So, absolutely important, who is the bowler who has taken 2 hat-tricks in a single match in 2 different innings? That answer is Mitchell Starc in Sheffield Shield tournament in Australia. And these 2 hat-tricks come just before the starting of the Ashes tour. What is Ashes? Ashes is a test series between England and Australia, and Mitchell Starc has sent ominous signals to the English cricket team by taking 2 hat-tricks in 2 innings in a single match recently. Of course, it is in first class cricket only, but he is a very, very good fast bowler.